very fundamental concept of MEC. Thank you. Fundamental concept of MEC. Tell me anyone, please. Did you understand my question? Huh? What we did was we used to take a derivative and we used to get. Then why? How come this derivative is always equal to Gm? Because Gm is transconductance. Transconductance meaning is simply the current by voltage. So basically this should be the definition. Gm equal to small id by small vgs. That's it. AC transconductance. Then how come it is delta id and why? See, these are the concepts which you have to be clear. Otherwise, you make a derivative, you will get the result. No problem. Please, anyone? Follow? Any answer? See, we used to, whenever we are writing like this, small I, then small v capital Gs is equal to capital V capital Gs plus small v small gs. Similarly, again, small v capital Ds is equal to capital V capital Ds plus small v small ds. Okay, so now the idea is that first thing that we have to keep in mind is that we will be considering all this analog circuit design, considering only AC signals. Okay, whenever we are saying the small signals, that small AC signal. AC signal, how do you represent? So let us say ID as a function of time t is equal to A e to the power of j omega t. How is it coming? Because you have applied small vgs as a function of t, which this amplitude is different, but it is the frequency and all will remain the same because you are applying the same frequency, correct? Similarly, what is small v ds into t as a function of t? Again, another constant. That constant will vary, of course, depending on the load and all, but the phase part remains the same. What is the implication? So this is essentially a purely AC signal. So that is pure AC signal. That's a pure AC signal. Okay. Now what is happening? Notice that we are actually applying this capital VGS and this will be capital D. You are superposing one capital ID plus capital VGS plus capital VDS here. So the AC signals are only this, this and this. Okay. So now if you are making a derivative, how do you do that? For example, we will do del ID. Let's put D itself because it's a function of time t. Okay, it's a function of time t is equal to, obviously this capital ID will be 0. You will be left with a j omega e to the power of j omega t, which is equal to how much? J omega id. I small d. Right? Similarly, if you are doing d v capital Gs dt will be equal to capital V j omega e to the power j omega t. So this is a specific property of sinusoidal AC signals that whenever you are taking a derivative, the same phase factor comes out. So now if you want to take a derivative of what? Del ID, del VGS. All you have to do is dID dt, dVGS, capital VGS dt, and you will be left with only ID by. Now this is technically equal to Gm. Is that part clear? Because Gm is actually what? This transconductance. But what we actually refer to is this AC transconductance. That means the AC component of current divided by the AC component of the VGS. Correct? So remember, whenever we are, this is the importance of the AC, small signal AC. Okay? Because if it is not AC, you will not be cutting this j omega terms. Please understand this. This is a very, very basic concept. So whenever we are discussing anything about small signal, means small AC signal superposed over DC. Okay? Huh? Okay. So now let us complete the modeling part, and we will straight away jump into the circuits today. So when we write small id is equal to, tell me, yes. Think, what is DC? DC matlab is, it has got no, it's steady state. DC matlab steady state. Okay, mu n Cox. Notice on the left hand side I have put small I capital D, that is the total component of the current including DC and AC whatever, is equal to capital VGS plus small VGS minus VT whole square 1 plus lambda capital VDS plus lambda small VDS. I am just writing all the terms together. Now small id will be capital ID plus small id is equal to, with a half, sorry. Notice what is the DC component. Whenever we are speaking of the DC component, we are essentially looking for the part of this small id current, the total current, which is independent of time. Okay? So what are the time dependent factors? Only the AC components. What are the AC components? The small id, small VGS and small VDS. Okay. So what is the capital ID term? We will simply remove all that. So we can simply write ID is equal to half mu n Cox W by L. VGS is gone, small VGS is gone because we are only concentrating on the DC part. So that will be VOV square 1 plus lambda VDS. Okay? So just keep that in mind, and then we are going to do the expansion taking capital VGS minus VT as VOV. You will be left with very simple VOV square plus twice VOV into VGS plus VGS square into 1 plus lambda VDS plus lambda capital VDS. So if we want to make our analysis simpler, the first thing that we will do is small signal. What was the concept? This VGS square is much less than twice VOV by VGS. So what is the advantage? You can simply cut this out. Okay, na? That is the whole idea about small signal. It's actually repetition. We have done this earlier. So now, so let me just write it. This is small signal approximation. We will also see later on when we are dealing with the linear circuits, when we are designing op amps and all, that the small signal approximation also helps to maintain the linearity of the circuit. Okay, we will see that later on. So once we are doing this, so what will be, we will be left with ID plus small id is equal to half mu n Cox VOV square into 1 plus lambda capital VDS. Notice these two terms are the same. Okay, we are going to cancel that out soon. Plus half mu n Cox W by L. We have taken the VOV square out. So let us just put VOV square into the other term which is remaining, lambda small VDS. Right? I'm just doing an expansion. Half mu n Cox. Now, what is the other term remaining? VGS square is already out. Twice VOV into VGS into 1 plus lambda VDS. Okay. The first thing that we are going to do is just cancel out ID and this part, which is essentially the same. We can do that only because of small signal analysis. Okay. Then, so this is what we have got from the entire relation. What is the small id? That is the AC signal only, because we are essentially looking for GM and RO and all those things. Now we will be putting into the AC equivalent circuit. So these are the very basic concepts behind making AC equivalent circuits, and throughout the entire course we will be doing all that. So now, what are the things we can cancel? These gets cancelled. Now comes the major interesting part. What is the value of lambda? Ideally 0, but non-ideally it will be tending towards 0, very, very small quantity. So, first thing is neglecting lambda, which is tending towards 0. Then what is the value of small id? What is the term which is without lambda? Here is a lambda, so this will be negligible. These two are also negligible. So only this one is available without a lambda. So we are going to write mu n Cox W by L VOV. Instead of this VGS, I'll just put it here. Okay. So what is that? When lambda is tending towards 0, this is nothing but GM. In MEC, you arrived at this equation by taking a derivative of the equation, right? We also did the same in one of the earlier classes, but that is not actually correct. The reason why that works is because of this concept. Understood? Because GM is actually transconductance. So ID by VGS, simple. Capital ID by del VGS we can apply only for AC signal. Okay, everyone? Very good. So that means in the form which we have done, irrespective of AC or DC, it is always going to be the truth. Okay, so the derivation which we have done is irrespective of AC or DC. The one which you did in MEC is valid only under this delta part, is true. Okay, that is GM. Now let us come to RO. Again, let us look at this equation. Okay, of course, let me just rewrite it again. Small id is equal to, I'll just copy from my notes here, id is equal to half plus half mu n Cox into lambda. Now, how do we define the resistance? Voltage by current. Okay. So here we are essentially looking for the RO value. This is ID and this is VDS. Out of all the terms over here, what are the terms we are looking for? 1, let us say this whole thing, 2 and this 3. Out of these 3 terms, which is having the maximum dependence on VDS? Socho? Notice this is the product of VOV, which is a DC quantity, capital VGS minus capital VT. Okay, that's the DC component. Small VGS is large or small? Small, very nice. Whereas this one, notice there is only one VOV squared term. Obviously, the maximum contribution of VDS, small VDS, will come from this term only. I know, because small VDS is multiplied by VOV square, and whatever is happening over here, first of all is multiplied by lambda, which is a small quantity, plus on top of it, small VGS is here. So the most dominant part in all this equation will, VDS dependent part will be this half mu n Cox W by L VOV square lambda VDS. So just bring VDS down, 1 by RO is equivalent to ID by VDS. is equal to half mu n C ox W by L. ठीक है ना? Notice if you take this as a bracket, then what you are left with, that is actually this part. You are neglecting this entire part because capital VOV into small VGS. Here it is VOV square. So this is the dominant part. Okay, here. So half mu n C of W by L VOV square becomes small id into lambda divided by 1 plus lambda into id. Okay. Okay. Now lambda is a small quantity, so this goes off. That will be equal to lambda. Now some of you should be asking me, sir, here it is small id here. That means it is only the AC component. But what do we write? Capital ID there. Why? Because again of that small signal analysis. That means whatever you are getting here is valid only at DC operating point. Meaning that RO will be equal to 1 upon lambda. We will put it as capital ID. So one point of note, if you go to the textbooks, GM is always equal to this, whereas RO is always put with tilde sign here. It is an approximation because you are making an approximation here. Okay, so these are the two things which we have got. Now, yes, please. Yes, yes. Yes. See, we are essentially looking for what is the term which is giving the maximum contribution due to VDS. Okay, the AC component of VDS part. Notice here is a VDS, here is a VDS. But this VDS is multiplied by lambda, which is almost tending towards 0. At the same time, this is having small VGS here. Whereas over here, this is also having a lambda, but this is VOV square. Why VOV square is high? Because VOV is having the DC part. So remember, VOV is equal to capital VGS minus VT. Right? This capital VGS is always much higher than the small AC signal. So that's why this will be the dominant term. Okay. Okay. Now let us understand the equivalent circuit. So what we have understood is that small I capital D, total current, DC and AC both, is actually a function of two things, right? Small v capital DS and small v capital GS. Yes or no? Partial fraction yaad hai bachpan mein? In the partial fractions, how can we write that? Simply del ID del VGS for constant VDS into the total value of VGS plus, this is the component which is varying because of VGS, the other one del ID del VDS for constant value of VGS into VDS. Yeah? So, yes? Yeah. Capital ID, you can put capital ID divided by this or the total AC component also. It depends on what you are putting in VOV. VOV will be having VGS. So since we are calculating only for ID over here, small ID, that will have capital VGS plus small VGS minus VT. When you wrote VOV, we wrote capital VGS minus VT. So what will happen? Instead of this, you can actually put this capital ID as well. Doesn't matter because you are making an approximation here anyway. The small ID which we have written is going to be true also because whenever you are having a resistance is not GM. Resistance is the linear characteristics, linear component. So that means AC voltage by AC current will be equal to DC voltage by DC current equal to the resistance. Okay, so that means you can actually put RO equal to capital VDS by capital ID, or small v capital DS by small ID, or small v small ds by small id. The only thing, DC component, it has to be in the Q point, no issues with that. Whereas this one, we are having the AC components, right? So these are valid only at Q. That's what I wrote here. Do you get me? Yeah. So if we can write this, right? These are the two components, independent variables, the dependent variable. We can write that. So this is what? बोलो क्या है ये? Del ID GM. Very nice. So this is GM VGS plus what is that? VDS by RO. So we can represent the transistor ID as a summation, the output current as a summation of two components. What are those? There is a drain terminal here. It will have some current ID which will divide into two components. One is RO. What is the other component? GM into VGS. Notice this is a dependent current source again. Yeah. Okay. What is the voltage here? VDS. Where is this VGS coming from? It's basically the gate to source voltage. Source, gate, plus minus VGS. Alright, just see, all we have done is we have just made this equation, modeled this equation, and then how are you going to get this terminal? Like GM given by mu n C of W by L VOV, which we got here. What is the other component? RO is approximately equal to 1 by lambda ID. This one? Yeah. See, whenever you have a quantity which is dependent on different independent variables, then this is only a representation that this is actually followed only for linear circuits. We will actually see that complications later. That means this ID can be represented as sum of the contribution due to the variation in VGS, contribution due to due to VDS. So notice that what is this? We have done the rate of change of the current because of VGS multiplied by the total amount of VGS you have applied. So that is a contribution because of VGS. How can you do that? You are keeping VDS constant. Okay. Similarly here, contribution only due to VDS change, keeping VGS constant. That's all. Okay. This is what you have seen in MEC, but the reason today I think everyone is clear about. Now, some of the things which we are going to add into this. A MOSFET is a 3-terminal or a 4-terminal device? 4-terminal. What is the 4th terminal? Body. यहाँ पर लिखे ही नहीं है. We are assuming that VBS or VSB, body and all, they are shorted. So let me just put it like this. Short. This is the body terminal where VBS equal to 0. Makes sense, right? The reason why we are saying this is we will come to the next component in this circuit, which is called influence of the VBS. So let us see. What was the equation of the ID? Half mu n Cox W by L. Let's take it in the VOV square 1 plus lambda VDS. All in saturation region. Huh? Yes. Of course it can. Because you are applying some DC voltage here. Remember, all we are writing with the DC plus AC component. Okay. So whenever we are having some voltage given to the body, which will almost invariably be DC. The problem is that the source terminal will be having some AC signal. Simple thing which is like that.
So AC component which is incoming from drain or
Source, yes.
no, the path is from drain to source, right?
Hmm.
So it will be going from drain to source, rather than pass to the body also.
No. See, the body bias, we are speaking about the VBS, the voltage between the source and the body terminals. Correct? It doesn't always mean that your body and source will always be at DC. That's what I am trying to explain here. देखो, body क्या है? You are actually, suppose you have put it grounded. The thing is that this is actually equal, the source voltage here, Vs, is equal to the Vd for the lower transistor. So that means the voltage which is appearing between the VSB over here, that will be an AC signal now. I know, because the voltage at this node is a function of time. And we are speaking, so this is DC, of course. And body terminal में कोई AC नहीं देता. So you will 100% put one DC signal only. Either you are grounding it or putting a VDD. That's perfectly fine. But the source voltage will keep on changing with AC. Okay. Now, I'm not sure whether it was done in MEC. Please understand this. Which is the component over here, which is the term over here, which is dependent on body bias? VOV. VOV is in turn dependent on VT and VT is dependent on. So, let us find out. So now we can understand that instead of this equation, if we put ID as a function of small VGS, small VDS and small VBS, notice that we are referring everything with the source. So this is source reference model, Berkeley wala. Okay, BISIM. Okay, that's the standard, so we will follow that. Then how do we write that? The same relations we will write. The only thing is that del ID, del VGS. What are the things which are constant? The other two terms will be constant. So VDS, VBS. What is the total variation? VGS. So this is the influence of VGS alone. Okay, plus delta ID, VBS and VGS and total VDS. VGS and VDS, total VBS applied. We already know these two components, right? What are those? GM VGS plus VDS by RO plus, this is a new term which we are going to add, GMB VBS. As a consequence, in this equivalent circuit, what are we going to add? Another parallel path will be added, simple, which will be essentially GMB VBS. So let us put GMB VBS and this is VDS. Okay. Now, where is this VBS coming into? Instead of this VBS equal to 0, this is not shorted anymore. We will put this as the plus minus VBS. Sorry, plus, this is minus, this is plus. Okay. Now let us figure out what is the value of this GMB. So this AC equivalent circuit is fine as of now, but it will become complicated in actual circuits. But just keep this in mind. This is the complete resistive model. I have not added the capacitances here. Capacitances will be necessary only for high frequency or RF applications. We will see that later. So in this case, three components of the current. GM value we know, I wrote RO we know, GMP we have to figure out. Okay. So GMP, how is it defined? Del ID, del VBS. Karo fit. Bit sat. Derivative is equal to, just make the derivative of this with respect to VBS. क्या होने वाला है? All the constant terms separate out. VOV square becomes simply VOV into 1 plus lambda VDS into del del VBS of VOV, VGS minus VT. So this is capital T. Remember what was this GMB? It was for constant VGS and VDS, correct? So yani ki VGS is constant, so this goes out and minus comes out, right? VT variation on VBS, remember that equation? VT is equal to VT0 plus gamma, याद है हमने किया था क्लास में a few lectures earlier. 25F, just turn over the pages, you will find that. 25F, that's all. So the whole thing boils down to finding out del VT, del VBS. Del VT, del, let us say VSB here, is equal to VT0 is the component without that body bias. So this is out. Gamma 2 root over 25F plus VSB. But we needed VBS over here because we are doing source reference model, not body referenced. So if you want to put it over here, what will happen? A minus will be added. So this becomes del ID del VBS with VGS and VDS constant simply becomes, what is this whole part? GM, minus is gone. Okay, let me just write it here. 1 plus lambda VDS this minus cancels. Remember, this is again small signal, so lambda VDS also cancels, becomes GM Now, this appears to be a complicated function. Whenever we are designing circuits, there is a thumb rule. This is equal to GMB is equal. Okay. What is the thumb rule? We are going to apply the VSB or such. Usually, GMB is designed in such a way is approximately equal to GM by 4. That is 0.25, 25% of the GMB. So whenever you are trying to design analog circuits, keep this in mind. And what is equivalent circuit for this? Is over here. Clear until now? But whatever we have done, we have not taken into account any of the influence of the frequency. Frequency किसे affect करता है? Resistance को affect नहीं करता ना? Notice one thing, whatever components we have written is either conductance or resistance. These are all frequency independent terms. Frequency will affect only the capacitance values, है ना? So just for the sake of completion, what we will do is I will add the various components of capacitances in this circuit. Don't get overwhelmed. We will deal with that later on in this course. Only when we are doing high frequency analysis. Okay. Today's industry is working for 3 gigahertz, and if you are happy with 3 kilohertz, you are not industry ready. Okay. So that's why we will deal with high frequency later on. But just keep in mind that what are the factors that's going to work. Okay. अच्छा आप ही बताओ. From the very basic principles, I am going to annotate on this. थोड़ा और कचरा लगेगा ये वाला. But bear with me. It will be easier for you to understand. Where does capacitance arise? whenever you are having charge sharing, charge separation. Okay, obviously gate and the source will have a capacitance, that is CGS. We'll add the capacitance here. Right? Gate and the drain will also have a capacitance. In your high frequency analysis of BJT and MOSFETs, MEC, याद है आप लोगों ने क्या किया था? This feedback capacitance CGD, you just broke off through Miller capacitances, two components. Right? We are also going to do the same in 2 classes later. So just remember, you will be having CGD. So drain and the source capacitance will also have a component. So we will add that charge separation, CDS. Okay, charge separation between the drain and the source. Interestingly, in your high frequency analysis, what you did, you simply found out the CGD component over here, you neglected CDS. Why? पूछेंगे यार, इंटरव्यू में यही पूछते हैं. Why does CDS capacitance does not have any influence on the high frequency response? Okay, we will just deal that when we are dealing with this high frequency later on. So there will be CDS. Then what are the other? So gate to source हो गया, gate to drain, drain to source. Body, here you will be having one charge separation, CBS or CSB, whatever. Huh? Yes. So
charges are anyway traveling, so there's no dielectric between you.
Yes, but we are working in which region? There is a small region, no, where there is no channel. But see, charge separation meaning that the charges should be, the traveling, whenever they are traveling in the tunneling part, the tunneling phenomenon will never be able to compensate the whole amount of charge separation. So tunneling phenomenon in the saturation region is something similar to a leaky capacitor. It will lose the capacitances of, lose the charges always, but it is still a leaky capacitor. But the capacitor still remains. Only what you are telling is true. In fact, I am going to elaborate on that when we are dealing with high frequency, that CDS part will not even exist in the linear region or whenever you are having a continuous channel, but it will behave like a leaky capacitor. Leaky capacitor meaning that its capacitance will be much lesser than the Miller component of CGD. That's what we are going to establish later on. Okay. A body by, please tell me. Saturation region, yes. So whenever there is a continuous channel in the, say, linear or anything, you won't even have this capacitance, okay, as he rightly said. But the moment in the saturation region, all these are for the saturation. Remember the very basic equations, whatever we are working on in the saturation region alone. Okay, na? Alright, so body bias ke liye, we will be having this VBS. What are the other capacitances here? CDB and CGB. So now what we have drawn over here is the complete model of the MOSFET. The components of these capacitances we will leave on for the high frequency analysis. अभी थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो जाएगा, overdose. Already मुझे लग रहा है थोड़ा overdose हो रहा है क्या? I'll go slow in that case, but you need to understand that. Okay, now you will enjoy something very nicely. In our first few lectures, I told you that when we are making a circuit, integrated circuit chip, fabricating one tape out, it's always easier, cost effective, time, it consumes less time to have all the components using MOSFETs alone. मैंने बताया था ना? So, whenever we need a capacitor, okay, whenever we need a capacitor, So the first thing today is MOSFET as a capacitor. Inside an IC, of course. So whatever we are dealing with, there is a bracket term over here inside an IC for this whole course. When it is as a capacitor, all you have to do is, क्या करना है? N plus. You have to just short circuit the body, source and the drain, and here you will apply VGB. Okay? Then what happens is, first of all, the lateral field effects is totally gone. So this will start behaving just like a typical MOS capacitor. So what is the characteristics of this? Simple. Why would you like to do that in the first place? Like, why even necessary? To determine the value of VT. We have seen all that. Okay, so in the actual chip, nobody wastes any space because of separate capacitor or a resistor. This MEC वाला यहाँ पर अलग से capacitor लगा रहे हो 220 microfarad? No, people will be doing with MOSFET. Okay, now comes a very important topic which I want to take it as a separate one today, because that is called MOSFET as a resistor, high resistance. If a small resistance is necessary, what will you do? Very simple. Linear region में डाल सकते हैं, but linear region also has a problem with that. You have to put one bias, na? Bias, without bias can you do it? We need roughly small, like in few kilo ohms. Semiconductor material itself has its inherent resistance. So all you have to do is make the channel or the source region wider, or kuch nahi. Then what happens is automatically the N well, P well, like electronic devices ne padha, like I don't know. So in that case, what happens if you simply make it wider, the base spreading resistance it is called, that will increase. So for resistances in the order of few kilo ohms to mega ohms, few mega ohms, doesn't matter.
Why not directly put some N-type material or P-type material which will act as
That's what I'm telling. That is exactly done. N-type material अलग से नहीं डालते, N-well बना देते हैं, बस. That's it. Okay. So that is for lower ranges of resistances, but that is something which we are not concerned about. Whenever we require a very high resistance, where do we require that? Current source, current mirror, all those things, we need very high resistance. MEC में याद है, what was the gain of an amplifier? GM into R0. Remember? So R0 को बढ़ाना है किसी भी तरह से. So if you think about that N-well, you are going to make a very nonsense amplifier. Okay? So we have to get a very high resistance. कैसे कर सकते हो? We will see. That is called diode connection. Okay. And we are going to use diode connection very, very frequently. MOSFET as high resistance. This is also called diode connection. ठीक है? कैसे करना है? I have already discussed. You have to ensure that the MOSFET is always in saturation. What will happen? Ideally, there will be no lambda will be equal to 0. Okay, if lambda is equal to 0, so ideally this is small id, small vds. Okay, that means lambda is equal to 0. That means RO equal to infinity, very, very high. But ये कभी practical होगा नहीं. क्या होने वाला है? This is going to have a small slope. This is the real. But RO tends towards infinity, very high. That's the maximum resistance you can get. But how to ensure that this MOSFET will always remain in saturation? I have already discussed. Gate or drain को short करो. Okay, so now what your task is, you have to find out the resistance here. See, at the MEC level, you can understand that if you are shorting this, what will happen? First of all, you are trying to ensure that your transistor is always in the saturation. So this is linear, this is saturation. But with this example, we are going to have an idea about soft saturation and deep saturation. We will understand that. Okay. वो क्या है? We will see. So now M1, this is grounded and this is drain and gate are shorted. In this diode connection, what is the advantage? Notice VDS will be always equal to VGS. है ना? Obviously, this implies that VDS is much larger than VOV. So what does it mean over here? VDS is much larger than VOV. What is the VOV line? This is the VOV equal to VDS line or VDSat. Yes or no? Linear saturation boundary हमने देखे थे. So we are going to bias our circuit, this transistor way beyond this line. So it's way in saturation region. ठीक है? But when you are trying to design something, you need to know something more about it. What is the exact value of Rx? What is the resistance seen over here? Because this part will actually have, this part above will be having the actual circuit. This is only the load or the resistance part. Correct now? Which will give you a high resistance. कैसे देखेंगे? Let us draw the equivalent circuit. Draw मतलब यहाँ से copy करो यार. Until and unless you are not copying from others, it is perfectly fine. You are copying from your. ठीक है? तो क्या करोगे यहाँ पर? Plus minus VGS. RO, source, drain. Again, no body effect, so we are putting it as a source. VSB is equal to 0. The only thing that we have done is we have shorted the gate and the drain. Okay? So this is the gate, shorting this. Now, whenever in any circuit, whenever you are looking for the resistance कैसे दिखाओगे? Like how to find out and even measure. आपको क्या करना है? You apply one voltage here, let us say Vx. Then you just have to find out the current which is going that way. So that means the voltage which you are applying here is Vx plus minus. Just measure the value of the Ix. Measure or calculate. ठीक है? Diode connected load मतलब gate and the drain are shorted through this line. As simple as that. Then notice that same current Ix, MOSFET, so no leakage here. Ix comes in on this side. This is GM-VGS. What is the drop over here? Remember, this is VDS. What is the value of VDS now? Vx. Very nice. So simply Ix is equal to two components, GM-VGS. What is VGS? Okay, let me just write it. Plus VDS by RO is equal to GM plus 1 by RO into Vx. So what is the net resistance seen because of this diode connected load? Rx. Rx Vx by Ix is equal to क्या होगा? RO by 1 plus GM RO. Okay, is equal to 1 by GM कर सकते हैं. Just a better way of looking at it. 1 by GM parallel. ठीक है? So now when you are trying to make a design of it, aren't you getting this in importance? You're getting. If you actually want it, you can actually, there are some stands for this. You can fit it there. no issues. You can do that also. From there you will not be able to capture, I guess. Okay, so 1 by gm into this rho. Now notice what is the value of rho here? Again this 1 by lambda into id. Okay? So you might be thinking that you are going to get one infinite impedance in this way. No, what is the value of lambda? Tending towards 0. This whole thing tends towards infinity. So this becomes equal to okay? So in a sense, in case of voltage amplifiers, I have been repeating this many times, in case of voltage amplifiers, we used to have GM very high. No? We would try to make GM very high so that you get a better current swing and voltage amplification, current amplification. Whereas this diode connection is very much useful for making integrated circuits, because the output impedance, this Rx which is seen, that will essentially depend on GM. So if you are making one, let us say current amplifier में GM क्या होता है? It will be very low. Output impedance should be very low in case of current amplifier. Remember, voltage amplifier के लिए output impedance should be low, input impedance should be high. Current amplifier, output impedance should be high, input impedance should be low. So here it will depend on this value of GM. That means if you want to increase Rx, GM should tend to 0. Meaning, instead of this, we will be using it as a current amplifier. We will see all that details later. Okay, that's all for today. Now, next lecture, we are going to start with CS amplifier. And all I'll suggest is, please go through your MEC notes. If you have any doubts with the MEC notes, just ask me. Okay, thank you. If you have any problems with today's lecture as well, please feel free to ask me. I saw many blank looks here.
This is the strength. My God. Any ill health problem? In hostel, is there any health problem there? Huh? My God. Absolutely no meaning, okay? Then I think I have to use my weapons. I have kept my weapons, few weapons. I hope you know that my weapons. I will just throw those weapons on you. Okay, I'm just looking at you people. I'm thinking I should do some help to you, but no, absolutely no use. Nothing can be done. I pity on you. That's all. There's nothing else. I pity on you. Okay. See, fortunately, we are not inviting any noble laureates. Okay. Had we invited them also, the strength will be same. Only first day you will come to see his face, how he looks, how he talks. Okay. And next day onwards, we will do the same thing. Okay. That noble laureate also should commit suicide. Nothing, no other way he can escape. So you can come forward maybe, so that at least 3 benches are, I can say, a little crowded. Horrible, sir, horrible. Really, I feel pity maybe on you and me also. Okay, both the ways I should feel pity.